Liberty Nation with Tim Donner.
When everything we hold dear and thought was virtually unassailable starts to crack under the pressure of an unprecedented crisis such as the one we're in the middle of right now, 30 million people, almost 20% of America's workforce filing for unemployment in the last 6 weeks, a 5% downturn in an economy roaring as 2019 turned to 2020, now headed inexorably toward recession. We turn to those with a deeper understanding of history and politics and human behavior. And high up on that list is one of America's leading conservative minds, Victor Davis Hanson, man of arts, Renaissance man, columnist, and I might add, a farmer in the red part of California who has written a piece entitled "It's a Free Country, Brother," which places this crisis, or what it has revealed about us and is likely to spawn, in just the kind of context we're all groping for these days. And he joins us now. Dr. Hanson, welcome back to Liberty Nation Radio.
Thank you for having me.
In a matter of perspective, the entire human race has been brought low by a virus from a bat. Or as you write, a little horned devil virus seems to be trying to do what those Ruskies never could. You would think this would unite our species at some level, but as you point out in your article, it's hardly done so. Has the media simply played this whole thing like another Trump scandal? And how different might this crisis be if the media simply played it straight and didn't continue their 90+% negative coverage of this president?
Well, it would be a lot different, but we're getting closer and closer to the election. So this is Robert Mueller and impeachment on steroids, because for the Democratic progressive agenda, time was running out. There was a booming economy. There was a new foreign policy that was working. China was an extremist in this trade war. It wasn't doing well. And so I think once this thing came along, and I shouldn't say I think, I'm just quoting their own words. Remember Hillary Clinton in an interview with Joe Biden 4 days ago said, as the old saying goes, you can't let a crisis go to waste. And that's not an old saying. That was a new saying in 2008 by Rahm Emanuel, her former advisor, about the earlier financial meltdown. Remember Gavin Newsom, governor of California, said this is an opportunity to readdress capitalism and get a more progressive government. So I think a lot of people, especially as we saw in that Democratic primary, those agendas were not very popular. New Green Deal, wealth tax, abolish ICE, Medicare for everybody, illegal alien, universal health care. But they've rebirthed almost like zombies. They're back because they feel amidst the panic and hysteria, government, especially at the state level, because it's not controlled by the Republicans, can do things they otherwise would never dream of getting away with. And we've seen it, in some sense, the First, Second, and Fourth Amendment don't really exist right now. People can be terrified that this virus is just something that we've never seen in 2017. We never saw it in 1968. We never saw it in 1957, all of which were severe flus, with so far either the same or much more death, and didn't require this lockout. Then if they can convince people of that, we'll stay locked down, we'll go into a depression, and we're going to have the largest redistributionist agenda you've ever seen.
Well, let me ask you a simple question with a complicated answer, most likely. Have we as a nation, in the face of this crisis, overreacted, underreacted, or reacted about properly?
I think we were doing pretty well until about 2 weeks ago. And by that I mean it was very hard to react properly when not only the Chinese government lied about the origins and nature of the transmissibility of the virus, but the World Health Organization was a megaphone for those lies. So we didn't get accurate. And then with the FDA and the test kits and the NIH and the CDC, they all were confused about and Trump followed the experts' advice, which was wrong. And then finally, we started doing things pretty well. We got the test kits going. We got these industries synchronized. We got private enterprise in on it. We got people working together. The lockdown was probably wise to so-called flatten the curve flatten. All of these facilities were underutilized. But right around now or a week ago, we started to discover that more people are going to die from misdiagnostic screenings, surgeries, anxieties, suicide, family and substance abuse than the virus itself, which is proving a lot more maybe infectious and widespread, but a lot less lethal. And our reactions to it were predicated on a faulty scientific model that, for the first time in an epidemic in recent memory, we took the denominator, that is the number of cases. With the full admissions, we didn't know if it was correct. In fact, I would go further. We knew it was incorrect. It was much, much smaller the number than we used in the actual reality.
That is the great Victor Davis Hanson. And for those of you who didn't get enough of his wisdom, we'll have him on again next week.